For everybody who tells me they like the longer videos, well, here you go.
Very curious about why my camera's not working. Oh, yeah, it is working. Cool.
Do you have your ID, sir?
No, I don't. I'm on my way to the hospital right now.
And I'm letting you know I'm recording for your information of mine.
I have my ride. I'm meeting here right now to take me to the hospital.
You're on your way to the hospital?
Yes.
Okay. You have an emergency or are you going to a appointment?
Well, I'm going to see.
Hey, it's none of his business. Don't answer his questions.
Whether there's...
Well, here's the thing. It's not that they're not doing anything wrong. It's just the guy needed a ride, and the only person who could take him happens to be a sovereign citizen.
There's an emergency or an appointment that's pertinent as to whether...
Oh, an emergency? What? An emergency?
Okay.
Did you see any emergency when you pulled me over?
I saw the seatbelt violation.
Well,
Boom.
Roasted.
I see you have your emergency procedures engaged, correct?
Yeah.
There is no emergency.
The vehicle's being pulled over for a seatbelt violation.
Well, you saw that he has it
Your
on.
last name?
No, you don't.
He's being stopped for a traffic violation. If he refuses to give me his name, information, he can go to jail.
Do we have a right to remain silent? Exercise your right to remain silent.
Are you crazy?
I'm just plain stupid.
The only thing that he has to give his name. And,
His name's Steve. And if we're being arrested, we will provide you with the information you're requesting.
You're being detained for a traffic violation. He's being detained for a traffic violation.
But I don't have a traffic violation.
The seatbelt was hanging loosely.
Well,
it wasn't on properly, and it's a simple violation. But you're turning it into something much more.
Boom.
Roasted.
Sir.
No, sir, I'm not. I'm a peaceful man. Don't answer his questions. Don't give him your ID. Give it to him. Go ahead. Roll your window down like 2 inches.
So, can I get your last name, please?
Yes, sir.
What's your last name?
He doesn't have a last name. He has a family name. Give him your family name.
Is it?
Which first name?
Steven.
Steven. Is that with a V or PH?
It's his given name. He doesn't have a first name or a last name. He has a given name and a family name. He's a human being.
How is Steven spelled, sir?
With a V.
With a V.
Sir, I'm on the way. I haven't had my medications for over 2 weeks.
Okay, well, if we could just hurry up and get this over, we can get out of here.
Okay.
Do you have a middle name?
It's Mike. Okay. You can see there's no violation because it was just a fault in the defect in the seatbelt.
No, the seatbelt wasn't defective. You just didn't have it up snug. You just didn't have it up properly. Do you have a date of birth?
Well, let me relate to him just a little bit. When I'm a passenger, I always got it away from my neck too. I don't do things around my neck. And let me just put a little bit more emphasis on that. I don't do anything around my neck. Don't come close to my neck. I got a very...
Don't come around my neck.
Jokes aside, seriously. I don't do jewelry. I don't do none of don't.
Do you have proof of consent? Do you have proof of his consent to any of this?
He doesn't have to consent right now. He's being detained. You have a date of birth, sir. Thank you.
I'm Canadian.
So? I mean, are you trying to say that you prefer I call you free man on the land? Psst, I'm not gonna.
Calm and peaceful.
Sir, driver.
I'm not a driver.
You're required to pull over to the right, but you kept driving.
I wanted to come to a safe place where I felt comfortable. I have a right. Excuse me?
You're required to pull over to the right and come to immediate stop, and there's an emergency vehicle behind you, okay?
Did you witness an emergency?
I mean, this whole there's no reason for the lights to be on nonsense is not going to get you very far. Why do you got your emergency lights on if there's no emergency? Why are you creating a panic? It's all nonsense. There's traffic and people coming and going. The lights are on to let people know, hey, something going on over here. Stay a little bit away. Also a good warning sign, like say at nighttime or somewhere where you need attention. Hey, don't hit us. We're taking care of something over here. Man, I was trying to keep it down. It is very early in the morning.
No, when there's an emergency vehicle behind you, when your vehicle's being pulled over, or if there's an ambulance or fire truck behind you,
I would have gladly pulled over.
you need to pull over to the right and come to a complete stop. That's what you're required to do.
Well, I felt that I believe we have a right to pull over where we feel comfortable.
If that was the case, I wouldn't pull over at all. I don't feel comfortable getting a ticket.
That's what the law says.
Well, the law says no harm, no loss, no crime. I don't know what law you're talking about. I'm talking about the common law. I think what you're calling law is a statute, and you should make that distinction because I believe common law applies to human beings. Correct. You're talking about a commercial. You're talking about something totally different than a human being.
Okay.
I'm talking about the Oregon Vehicle Code.
Yes, which applies to those who consent. Consent is required.
What an idiot!
Excuse me, sir.
It applies to people driving on the roadway.
Excuse me, sir.
It applies to people
Sorry
traveling.
about the seatbelt. You can see I've fixed the problem. Okay? I really need to get my medication. I've been with
I
that.
would love to help you. Just hurry up and get on out of here, but he's being uncomfortable.
What's your name? Do you have a business card? And I want you to know, I mean no disrespect whatsoever.
Well, you're not being disrespectful. You're just being difficult with the situation.
Well, I think that people should have a right to exist free and peacefully. I believe strongly in no harm, no loss, no crime.
You know what that sounds like to me? And I've heard plenty of different sovereigns have their own version of that. Sounds like a way of lowering the bar of responsibility. I can understand. You know, just like I think some tickets are nonsense. I think some things people get pulled over are nonsense, you know. I mean, I am a citizen like everybody else. But there's a difference. You know, if you can't afford, you know, then we got a problem. But if it's responsibility, that's not something we cheap out on. Now, allow me to elaborate. Some will agree, some won't. Hey, it's on you. I know what it's like to have to try to get your license back. Almost $27,000. I know what it's like, if you know what I'm saying. And the problem is, you still got to get to work. You still got to do, and I'm speaking for driving under suspension. So I'm being sympathetic to some people. And some people will disagree, and they probably never been through it. But imagine having to get to work every single day to take care of your family. But you're not allowed to drive there. There's nobody else to drive you there. So you got your vehicle sitting in a driveway. You could sit at home, become a bum, and have nothing. Eventually get kicked out, have your family on the road. Or you go get in that truck and you go to work. And that's what many of us chose to do. And we got pulled over and over and over and over. And the end result was almost $20,000. And that's BS on anybody's standard. At the end of the day, and I am proof because I've done it. You can pull me over 100 times. I'm still going to go do what I got to do. I don't care what no one says. I don't care what law you pass. Unless you stop something from allowing me to start my car up, which electric vehicles, I'm going to go and I'm going to do what I got to do. And ain't no man going to stop me. And it's not fair to no one. It's okay to disagree with me. We don't always got to agree on everything. But this is my personal opinion through my life experience dealing with it.
I have the highest respect for the law. But I also make a distinction between legislated statutes and common law.
I'm not being uncooperative. I'm trying to get to the doctors. I need my medications.
What's the name on the license plate here? Is there registration or insurance for the truck?
The truck belongs to a car dealer. The truck belongs to a car dealer.
Well, sir, you as a driver right now.
I'm not a driver, and I would respect you to. I would appreciate you.
And you failed to yield to the emergency vehicle. You're supposed to pull over to the right and come to complete stop, and you failed to do that.
Boom.
Roasted.
Well, you failed to witness an emergency. You engaged your emergency procedures with no. And another thing, I do believe that in the state of Oregon, you are required to be. You can't drive around in an unmarked vehicle and act as if you're in uniform.
Okay.
And I'll need a business card, and I would like to see your supervisor, please, immediately.
Here's my business card.
I'll need your supervisor here, please. Thank you.
Well, driver, I do need to see your license, insurance, and registration because you failed to yield your emergency vehicle properly.
I'm not driving. I am exercising my right to travel.
You were driving a vehicle. You failed to yield to an emergency vehicle.
Have you ever looked up the word driver in the dictionary, sir?
Look, nobody needs a lecture on what driving means. I mean, you guys are the only ones that are trying to dilute things.
You were operating this vehicle.
Do you know the definition of the word driver?
Let me get into a little.
You don't believe that's relevant, what a word means?
Driver, operator of a vehicle.
You know what? Do you know?
This truck, you're operating this
If
truck.
you would take the time to do a little research and look it up, a driver is a commercial term. It means you're engaging in commerce.
The gentleman needs to get his medication.
Exactly. He's not paying me. I'm a friend
And you
who volunteered to help him.
committed a traffic violation.
No, you did.
Honey, you don't seem like your normal self.
And now
You pulled me over with no reasonable suspicion of any crime. You pulled me over with no reasonable suspicion.
I stopped. I initially activated my lights because of the passenger.
Yes, you engaged your emergency procedures,
Because of traffic violation.
which is
Committed a traffic violation by not yielding to an emergency vehicle.
I would pull over where I felt comfortable. I believe I have that right.
I couldn't hear you with the truck over here.
I believe I have a right to pull over where I feel comfortable.
That's not what the law
I did
says.
not feel comfortable.
That's not what Oregon Revised statutes say.
Oh, and those statutes. Are you a member of the Law Society?
Vehicle code requires you to pull over.
Are you a member of the Law Society, sir? Are you a member of the Law Society?
No.
Then you're not even acting lawfully. You're in violation of the Constitution.
No.
Do you have to? Are you a sheriff?
Law Society.
Sir, I sure wish you would not wish to do this any further, because I assure you I am well aware of my rights, and it will be a learning opportunity for both of us. Like I said, I'm not trying to get over on anybody. I'm a peaceful man. I have the greatest respect for the law. But when I see legislated rules applied to human beings who have not, there's no proof I have consented to your legislation at all.
So let me ask you a question. If it don't mean nothing, okay? You're just traveling. How's come you pulled over? You know your laws. There's no victim. There's no loss. Why are you on the side of the road? I think I'm getting sick. It's this weather. One day it's -2, next day it's 35.
It's only...
When you're committing a safety violation, that affects everybody. When you don't pull over to the emergency vehicle.
I hope this will be an experience where you will learn to make a distinction between a human being exercising his right to travel freely. Does the right to travel freely still exist in this country?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it does. All you need is a driver's license and proof of insurance.
Are we still operating under law, or has legislated rules become the control? I'm done talking. Excuse me.
Sir. Sir, I think my right is here. Am I free to go?
Well, no, because you guys aren't cooperative. Your name you gave me is it doesn't exist.
I'm from
It's not
Canada,
that
sir.
right.
I'm from Canada. Check the I'm Canadian.
Canadian?
I'm Canadian, yes.
Okay. Do you have any Oregon ID at all?
No, I don't.
Okay. What province?
I'm out of British Columbia.
British Columbia?
But I'm telling you, I am just so sick, you're going to have to call an ambulance here in a minute.
Well, if we need to call an ambulance, we
Sir,
have to do that.
but it's not an
the operator of
emergency.
the vehicle's committed a traffic violation, and he's being uncooperative now.
How am I being uncooperative?
You're supposed to give me your license, insurance, and registration because you did not.
I don't have a license.
Okay. Do you have any ID?
I would be glad to provide you with whatever details I could, but as far as I have not applied for a state ID.
What an idiot!
Sir? Sir?
You should not tell them lies. It will not help us in the least. The only way to solve the problem is by being truthful.
How many of us can argue with that logic?
You should not give them false information. Ever. All I will give them is the truth. I like living by the truth.
Do that.
You're already.
Well, she probably won't pull up. Oh yeah, they're all gonna show up.
Clearly the passenger is lying. He notices some cop cars that are pulling up. Now he's really sweating bullets.
I gotta go, Gerald.
Well, you gotta go. How are you gonna get your walker out?
I'll just reach back there and take it out.
Well, you can't go until he tells you you're free to go.
Come on, buddy.
20 minutes later.
Who's this?
Probably Jack's.
Do you want me to keep it?
I'm not concerned about it in the least. But yeah, you probably should. Well, you might be going to jail for giving false information to a police officer.
That was legitness.
Which he'll claim he was investigating. See, a seatbelt infraction is not even an arrestable offense. But what they're going to do is they'll convert it into a crime. That's how they're pretty slick. Lock the door when you close it. Please.
Sir, excuse me. My rights here. Can I go ahead and go?
No.
Don't like that.
Is it okay if I go, sir?
Lock the door.
Sorry.
Well, your name didn't come back.
I'm sorry about this, sir. I just got to get down and get my medication.
Yeah, I know.
All
And but your name didn't come back out of British Columbia either. You said your last name was British Columbia. And date of birth again?
12/14/54.
12/14.
But, so I got like 20 minutes to get there and get my medication. I've got cancer, I've got whatever.
Now, the driver said he was lying. Clearly, he's probably lying about his name. But if he's lying about the cancer and whatnot to get out of this thing, you just...
Lock the button and close the door, please.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna need to put him together.
Sorry, Steve.
Huh?
Sorry.
Are we good, sir?
So,
Sir,
where we're at now.
sir,
is-
sir, can I go get my medication, please? Sir.
In the pharmacy or where?
No, he's supposed to be going to a doctor's office. I was bringing him here to meet a lady friend of his because I don't normally travel around in a car. I usually travel around. I think I've met him before.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember me, but I usually travel around on a bicycle. But because of my friend's situation here, I chose to use this truck where I'm staying right now.
You're using whose truck?
It belongs to the person. Well, I'm sure you can call the license plate in and see it belongs to NC Auto.
Belongs to who?
NC Auto.
NCR?
NC Auto.
NC Auto. Okay.
I figured you would have called the license plate in by now. I don't figure I'd have to explain that to you.
We're trying to get a hold of them to see if you're allowed to drive the truck.
Yeah, I am around the yard.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah, but like I said, the lady, rather than, there she is. There's his ride.
Sir, can I go, please?
He's gonna miss his doctor's appointment.
Sir, it's very important. I'm very sick. I need my medication. Can I go,
Do
please?
you have a phone number and address?
I'm sorry, is it same address?
No.
Because if I have to give you a ticket, I can do that later if I need to, and I can let you go now.
Okay.
But so far, the name you're giving me doesn't come.
I'm sorry it doesn't come up. I get no control over
Here's
that.
Okay.
I'll give you.
Want me to deal with the seatbelt situation with him? Would that help
Give
you out?
his name and everything and everything.
All right.
Give him the address.
How do you spell that?
I'm sorry, you gave him the right.
I'm sorry, I don't know him.
It's okay.
Just go back to the car.
Okay, that's
How
fine.
do you spell it?
Hurry up, go back to your car. Get away from here before you go and tell him something like,
My name.
You're here to give him a right.
I'm sorry.
You're here to give him a right. Okay.
I know. And your first name? Stephen with the D? And what's your middle name?
Yeah, okay. Just, yeah, wait.
Where at? Oh, okay.
Go back over there.
Okay. Are you a U.S. citizen, or do you have any U.S. citizens? So you're a Canadian citizen. Okay. And you live here, or do you visit? Okay. When did you arrive in the country?
I've been down here for 3 months. I've been coming out for
Okay.
I really need to go see my medication.
How often do you take your medicine?
Every day.
Every day? When's the last time you took
So
it?
here I got kidneys down here.
And when's the last time you took your medicine? 2 weeks? Well, I don't think 5 minutes is going to cause any more trouble than 2 weeks has.
Yeah, they're giving him a limited opportunity to get his medicine.
Not Walgreens, where I have to go to get my medication.
Okay, well, the problem is you didn't have your seatbelt on.
He did have his seatbelt on.
I'm not the one to stop you. I'm just going to deal with the citation part of it, okay? So I'm just going to verify your identity and get you taken care of, and then you get out of here as soon as possible. Station 2.
You're not Robert Donnelly?
Sorry.
You're not a Robert Donnelly?
No, nothing.
2788 River Road, Cubic Fremont, local, the Canadian citizen.
Okay. I'm like really sick, okay? And you've been dragging this out for like a while now.
Get your information that works, and then we can let you go.
If it's an, I apologize. May I interrupt? If it's not an arrestable offense, I'll provide you with his location.
and we're supposed to take your word for it. The guy who won't come off his name, who has the right to travel but not drive. And I'm sorry, but no. Nope.
The only arrestable offense we would have is your part of failure to carry and present license or ID.
Huh.
That would be an arrestable offense.
It would, underneath the commercial codes that you're quoting. But the right to travel does exist. Did you know that? Are you aware of that? The right to travel exists.
To travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can travel, but,
Yep.
but you even admitted to me just a few minutes ago that you're allowed to use this truck only in the yard.
Roasted.
Right.
You told me.
Well,
We're out in the public roadways.
yep. And my friend is in serious condition, and I'm trying to help him rather than give directions.
There's someone else here to give him a ride.
This was where I was coming to. That's why I stopped here when I got here.
Okay. Well, you're supposed to have stopped back on the roadway.
Well, like I said, I feel what I'm dealing with is more of a serious situation than what you are creating now. You're creating a serious situation.
Look, if it was that serious and your buddy wasn't BSing, they would call medical. That whatever would need taken care of could be taken care of right here. As of right now, everything you have told these officers don't add up. Your buddy's just some international mystery man. And you, well, you don't answer questions, but you got all the rights, none of the responsibilities. Hey, we should just let the mystery man go because you, Honest Abe, will let us know where he's at. The fact that you find any of this logical means we're going to continue with what we're doing. So, you and 007 just sit back and relax. We got a place for you.
No.
And you're interfering with my friend's health here.
And I got this part covered.
Okay.
Deal with the other
You
part
want to step around that way then with him?
You want me to have away? Yeah. All right, sir, right this way.
What?
We're going to walk over
And I'll let you know.
You can head over towards your friends
here.
Yeah.
Where's your friend's vehicle?
I think she was in that the maroon Hyundai over there.
Let's work our way.
That's her coming out of the
right
store.
over here by this red van.
It's her in that dark with the dark hair.
Here's your bag, Steve. Steve.
Here, I'll get Steve's bag.
Let's do that. Walk over to the car.
Here's Steve's bag.
Thank you. And
Do you want me to carry that for you?
I'd like to say one more time, I'm a peaceful man. There will be no need for violence. I'm not going to resist in any way.
Then go ahead and step out. Unlock the door over there and step out. The sergeant's right over there. You wanted to talk to the sergeant anyway. He's right over there.
No. I said I won't resist arrest.
Okay, so don't resist arrest.
But that doesn't mean I'll follow your orders either.
Well, that would be, well, if I have to arrest you, then that would be resisting arrest.
Then I will peacefully allow you to do so. But I would...
If you would just give me all your information, there's very well a possibility I might just give you a citation and let you go.
Say it ain't so. The evil officer, give him a citation and let him go. Please don't do that. They don't give breaks. They're just evil tyrants out here trying to put us all beneath their boot.
But if you're going to keep making it difficult, you could end up in
I'm
jail.
really not trying to make it difficult. I'm trying to actually make it a little bit more simpler. And sometimes...
Failure to carry and present.
Sometimes...
You committed a traffic violation, and then failure to carry and present ID, driver's license, is an arrestable offense.
Is a driver's license...
But I have the option, I could just give you a citation in lieu of custody for it.
Well...
Because you failed to yield to an emergency vehicle properly.
Hello. How you doing?
Would you like to talk to me? I'm the sergeant.
Oh.
Did I stutter?
Oh, I would, very much. May I have one of your business cards, please?
What's that, sir?
May I have a business card, please?
I actually don't carry one. You can. Well, my name's Deputy Lane County. Well, I'm actually a sergeant for Lane County Sheriff's Office.
Mm-hmm.
My deputies actually can explain to you everything about the day. You fail to carry and present. We want to get through this as easily as possible with you.
The reason I don't carry is because I no longer voluntarily apply for those types of...
You're a constitutionalist?
No, I'm just a human being who believes that I have a common law right.
You'll have to excuse my friend.
He's a little slow.
And I think that common law supersedes legislative statutes. I've done a lot of researching it because I care about people, and I like I stated to him, I'm a peaceful man. There's no need for violence.
Put that in there.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Here's the long story, the short.
Boom.
Right now you are on public roadways where this traffic violation occurred, correct?
Boom.
I don't... What you're saying is a violation.
We are right now, correct?
Yeah.
So, there is one way we're going to go with this.
Boom.
He's actually explained to you he would like to. If you can give him your information, we will go away. On that part of with the
See,
citation and such.
the thing is, if people believe that
we're not going to continue down this road,
Boom.
I'm more than happy to work with you on this, but you're not.
Roasted.
well, I'm, like I said, I'm a peaceful man. I've done nothing to harm or offend either one of you men.
No, absolutely not.
And I believe that
Let me tell you what I believe. I believe you have stepped in it. I think your buddy might have been lucky enough to get away, but eventually they're going to get him. You, however, already admitted that you're not even supposed to be in the truck. They've given you every opportunity to get out of this thing. All you got to do is just come clean. Here's my name. Here's my social. Let me to get this truck back and get on with it. But no, you don't want to do that. You would rather go the hard way. And that's the way it'll go.
since I've done nothing wrong,
yes, sir,
and I've harmed no one, there's no one making a criminal complaint against me. I've violated no one else's rights.
Actually,
I've damaged no one's property.
We are there right now. You are going down the road of a criminal complaint,
and I believe you gentlemen may be also.
Which is an arrestable offense, correct?
No.
Well, it is.
It is under what statute?
Oregon State, ORS.
Yeah, which is a statute.
Correct.
Which has nothing to do with common law.
What's going to happen is you're gonna make it to the point where we're going to have to actually remove you from the vehicle if you continue this. So
that escalated quickly.
So, and I don't want to do that because you said you're a peaceful man,
yep.
And I enjoy being around peaceful people. But you are actually causing this at this point in time.
I don't believe I am.
Are you willing to step out of the vehicle, sir?
I have a right. I believe that if a human being has rights and they fail to exercise those rights, those rights are looked at as if they're non-existent.
The right for you to drive, travel on the roadways without license and insurance
don't exist.
Hence the expression, driving is a privilege.
If I've committed a crime, then, and you believe that I've committed an arrestable offense, then that's your belief, and I'm sorry that you believe that.
The deputy that you've been dealing with right over there.
I'm sorry you believe that I've committed an arrestable offense. I apologize for your belief, because I care about people.
Well, it's not a belief, it's just what's written into the law.
Which defining a statute, which has nothing to do with common law. I will be exercising my common law rights in this little engagement that's occurring here, and it's no disrespect whatsoever. I'm not doing it. I don't want to go to jail. Trust me, I don't like it there.
I'd rather not take you to jail.
But I would rather.
It's a simple traffic violation. But
yeah, what seems simple, but what I see is years. I see simple traffic violations converted into crimes by the actions of agents.
I see as a guy who could drive away from the scene but don't want to.
Who aren't even acting as human beings.
Well, I think we're acting as human beings, though, so I don't know.
No, you're both in uniform. You're acting as agents. You're not acting as a human being dealing with a human being. And you're
willing to get out of the vehicle and be compliant.
If I've harmed someone, and if you've witnessed me breach the peace, I would lay down on the ground, put my hands behind my back. If there was somebody injured, pointing at me, saying, that man right there harmed me, and you guys got called to somebody who witnessed that, I would be the first one to
Only in that case is when you're going to actually comply with these kind of
when I believe, I think we all have a right to exist peacefully.
Yeah. We've heard you over and over. We all got the right to exist peacefully. You're a peaceful person, just not a responsible one.
No one has a right, not even in uniform, to act against a peaceful person who has committed no crime. And when you say, I violated a statute, you're failing to make the distinction between a human being practicing his common law rights and a legal entity which you're attempting to create joinder with you want me to provide you with details that would make me voluntarily consenting to contract with you.
Look, I hear what you're saying. Unfortunately, what you're saying is not exactly accurate. And that's the whole point. You guys have been just completely brainwashed into believing this nonsense. I mean, think about it. Just think about it for a moment. You shouldn't have to have insurance before driving down the road. What if you crash into somebody? I mean, don't get none of us wrong. Nobody out here is trying to say that the system is perfect in any way, shape, or form. But it is the laws of the land that we have. Right now, somebody's saying, oh, well, you hypocrite, you said earlier that you did it. Yep. And I'd do it again if it meant feeding my family. And that's the risk that I took. Should I get caught? I suffer the consequence. But I won't run and hide. I won't get into a car chase. I won't jeopardize somebody else. Pull over like a man. Take mine. For those of you who would say, no, you wouldn't. I already did. Many different times. And yes, as soon as I got back, I was back to work. Because I'm going to feed mine. It's only like 10 more minutes of video's over. But I do want to speak on one thing that tends to be a little controversial. Because I do believe that a person, if you owned your own property, or say property got handed down generation to generation, if you wanted to just live off the land, you should be able to do that. If you didn't want nothing to do with the outside world, you should have every single right to be able to do that. That's what I believe. And I know there's probably plenty of you already disagreeing. That's okay. That's your right. But I do believe as a free man that in America, you should have the right to be able to be free. Now, if you want to enjoy the services, ride on the road and all that, then I believe you must comply. You must conform. But I know some guys who have, generational property, and they do live off the land, and they don't want nothing to do with many people. And I don't think there's anything wrong with it. They don't bother nobody. They hunt their own land. They got their own water. They got plenty of food up in them hills.
I do not wish to contract with you. And when I go to court, I will not be entering a plea, because I only go to court when I've actually committed a crime.
At this point in time, you have, sir.
Oh, well, what you're calling a crime, I'm calling me exercising my right to travel freely. I was trying to help a friend who has a medical condition that is very serious, and I have a lot of other things I'm supposed to be doing, but because I care about people, I tried to get him here to get his ride. At the risk of being pulled over by agents who do not distinguish between a human being and a legal person. Now, I can't provide you with the details that would identify me as a legal person, because I plan for the rest of my existence here on Earth to make it a distinction. And
it's a choice on your part, correct? It's a choice on your part.
To be a human being.
Absolutely.
Yes, it's definitely a choice.
Therefore, when we make choices in life, there's sometimes consequences, correct?
Yep.
And so that is what...
Out of all this, I hope that you both do the research. I care about you, I care about your family, I care about your children. But if we continue acting against each other in a way where we don't protect the peace, instead we enforce the legislated rule that is actually harming human beings. Like right now, the things that I care about and I should be spending my time doing, I'm being forced without my consent to comply to your demands.
You just said
when I've done nothing.
You were helping your friend at taking the risk of being pulled over.
Right.
Well, there you go.
Yep.
So now you have to deal with the consequences.
Yep. See, I feel like there's a gang out there. There's a gang out there that carries weapons, which is very intimidating, and they threaten to take the freedom away of human beings.
And that's why we have jobs, because there are gangs out there with weapons.
Well, like I said, I wish that the emphasis was on protecting the human being, the life, the quality lived, not creating revenue. I know.
Full disclosure, I know some officers, related to some, I'm friends with law enforcement officers. That being said, even they know, because I ain't got no problem telling nobody nothing. Cops should not be in the revenue business, period, at all. There should be a whole different division, a whole different department that does that. We need to go back to, law and order. Cops need to go out and enforce law and order and give them that reputation of walking the line. It don't matter, hey, there's right and there's wrong, and you're either right or you're wrong. And if you're going to be wrong, hey, you're going to pay the piper. You're right, then hey, you need backup. Yeah, cops should not be about generating no revenue at all. And I also will say this also. The way for officers to get ahead should not be through tickets and all this other stuff. It should be through quality of service. Bottom line.
No, you're a sheriff. You look like a good man.
Yeah, thank you.
And you look like a good man too. When I look, I can't see your eyes, but when I look at you guys, I think, man.
Do you think that he's not out protecting life today? He's actually doing seatbelt enforcement.
No, I think he is, but I wonder how you guys feel. Have you ever seen a situation where you may have arrested someone who you felt was a good person, but do you ever feel like, wow, I arrested that person, and damaged their life, caused them financial hardships, and they've really done nothing to harm anyone. All he did was break my rule.
So you're out driving on the road, you don't have a license or any kind of insurance for this vehicle, correct? And you get into an accident with somebody else on the road that is driving. Wouldn't that be also putting those people in danger because you can't give any kind of financial stability for them for when you crash your vehicle into their car?
I would
Roasted.
Would be responsible for any damage I'd done, and I would take self-responsibility.
You can't be driving on the road without a license.
And that's why I don't drive on the road without a license. I travel in a personal conveyance.
Yeah. You travel on the road, don't you?
Your definition of words and your understanding may vary from mine. But
what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
But we will both have a clearer understanding of this if you choose to do so. And like I said, no harm intended, no disrespect. I'm not trying to make your day rougher. If anything, I'd like to make your day easier. Okay. And I think your day would be much easier.
It would be much easier if you just step on out.
You can...
How about this? Would you please step out of the vehicle, sir? I'll even say it. Pretty please step out of the vehicle, sir.
This is bullshit.
See, if you'd witnessed me committing a crime, I would comply.
We have.
We did.
Okay. So there's an alleged party that will file a sworn affidavit testifying.
Right
I do.
Okay, well,
I will do.
Here's an interesting thing. I know that your designation of authority comes from. Do you know what documents you've derived your authority from?
I mean, at this point, you just sound stupid. Step out. Get your driving under suspension. I mean...
Do you know where your authority comes from? Does it just come from a gun and a badge? Or does it come from law?
It starts off with the Constitution.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, do you know that the Constitution really does not authorize you guys to act in a way to generate commercial revenue? You know you're not allowed to do that. What you're supposed to be doing is if somebody called you and said, that guy ran into me with his car and drove off, you should go get that guy because what he did harmed someone's property.
So we're also out here to prevent that. And that's what I was doing today, was preventing that type of situation from happening.
Well, maybe we should prevent crime by just exterminating people. That doesn't make any sense.
No, I'm not here to exterminate anybody.
Preventive.
We're here to stop people. We're here to prevent crime.
So am I.
Stopping
so am I.
That commits a traffic violation.
I am too. I'm here to stop crime. I'm here
to get you off the road.
Because I care about people.
Okay.
I'm here for a short time.
If you do that, then step out of the vehicle so we can go on to help those other people.
Okay. I can't voluntarily consent to what I believe is criminal conduct on your behalf.
Okay.
But if you wish to drag me from the vehicle and arrest me, if you seriously believe I'm a threat to this community, and that I...
Now you're bending it. A threat to the community if we seriously... Bro, you didn't pull over where you were supposed to. Instead, you chose to go to the destination where the fella needed to be to get his medicine. Okay? There's a consequence for that. Would have been a citation. That's not good enough for you. You want to be dragged from the vehicle. Probably because you don't have a license. Already admitted you're not allowed to be driving a truck out of the yard. So we got all kinds of problems going on. And it's time to pay the piper.
I'm a danger to society.
I think that you're a threat when you drive on the road, when you don't have a license and you don't have insurance.
Well, why? Because Chicken Little worried the sky was going to fall? Well, I believe if no harm has been committed, then no crime has been committed, and you should allow people to exist peacefully, first and foremost.
But see, we want to prevent harm.
If you want to prevent harm,
before harm happens.
You need to realize what you're doing right now is harming me. You guys have guns.
Have we harmed you yet? Are you physically hurt in any kind of way?
Yes.
Physically hurt?
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
Where are you physically hurt at right now, sir?
I'm physically hurt in my heart because you failed to understand the words I'm trying to share with you. Okay. And I have several friends who have also suffered at the legislated rules that are enacted by those who voluntarily consent to be consenting members of the Law Society. I in no way have given my consent. And if you can show proof of my consent, then you should carry on. But
you got a birth certificate? Social Security number? Oh, it amazes me. We're born in the freest country in this world. And yet, so many people still got room to complain. Maybe y'all should experience what it's like to be in another country for a while. See how good you really do got it.
But if you don't have proof of consent, it is voluntary to apply for a license. It's voluntary.
Those documents.
My mouth is so dry.
It's a privilege to drive. You have to have that license so you can drive.
And I've revoked that privilege. And I've opted...
You're violating that revocation.
Well, I'm not consenting to any of that.
You violated that revocation.
Only if I have not given my consent.
So anyway,
that jurisdiction applies to those who consent.
Besides all this, if you just step out of the vehicle, we could get this taken care of. Or if you just give me your name and everything.
I've never refused my name. One time I've never refused my name.
Okay, so, well, I asked for your license, insurance, registration, you wouldn't give me that.
I don't voluntarily apply for those documents, which are voluntary to apply for, by the way.
So what is your name?
My name's Gerald.
What is your family name?
My family name is Davis, and thank you for Davis.
Davis. And then Gerald is with a G, J, or
with the G.
G-E-R-A-L-D?
Yep. And actually, if you wanted me to write it, I'd write it as my proper name. Something I wasn't educated in school, a proper name. Do you know how Benjamin Franklin signed his name?
Do you have a date of birth?
With semicolons.
Which date of birth?
I don't see the relevance to that question.
So we can help identify you, and maybe we can get out of here.
Well, I told you, my name's Gerald, my family name's Davis, and you can see me with your own eyes.
Do you have a middle name?
Or is it's challenging to try and not be offensive. I don't want to be disrespectful, but then again, I love life, and I love...
Have any of us been disrespectful to you in any kind of way?
No, well, in a way, but not...
First of all, you're stupid. Let's just get that out the way.
Not directly.
Disrespectful to you?
You have a gun. You have these lights on that are kind of humiliating me in public. So that, in a sense, that's disrespect.
Okay.
Other than that, no. And
treated you courteously this whole time, correct?
Well, if the courtesy would have been to see that I'm a peaceful man and allow me to help my friend and not interfere with me helping somebody and allow me to go free on my way.
So, Gerald,
that would be courteous and kind.
What's your date of birth?
Well, since I wasn't counting back then, what you're asking me, you want me to provide you with the details of the legal entity.
What's your birth date?
the birth date on the birth certificate.
So here's the deal. I'm going to tell you very calmly. We
Okay.
are going to remove you from the vehicle. You're going to be under arrest. So
Okay.
if you resist, it's going to add other charges. Also on top of that, we don't want to.
In no way will I resist.
So go ahead and either slide out towards the side, open this door, or go to those deputies right now, or you're.
Okay.
Right, you are under arrest.
Okay.
Are you shutting it off?
Yeah.
You
Hey,
this way or that way?
hey, I want to say one thing. I love you guys. I love you.
All right.
And I'm probably done talking for the rest of this adventure.
I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the ending, saith the Lord, which is and which was and which is to come, Almighty. He which testify these things saith, surely I come quickly. Amen. Even so, come, Lord Jesus. The grace of our Lord Jesus be with all of you. Amen.